What is something that you're superstitious about?
Chests.
Polls.
Nazar.
Retweet on that.
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Friends.
I don't know what you said. Chests?
Chests,
What
like
do you mean
treasure
chest?
chests or like toy chests.
What does
or-
that even mean? You're superstitious about chests?
Like whenever somebody opens something, I'm like, yo, tons of ghosts are gonna come out or something, like monsters.
when?
or some
How
crap.
often are people opening chests around you?
Very rarely, because I'm superstitious about them. Obviously. Why would they open the chest?
When's the last time you seen a chest?
Like 10 years ago.
All right.
That's why I never seen one.
All right, we gotta
Such
pull a
an odd
prank on
thing.
Shimmer where we go into his room someday and just fill it with chests.
Yeah, please don't do
And
that.
then they all
just
open.
just one under
Do you
his
feel
bed.
like they
Like,
have spirits in
under his
them?
bed
Yeah,
and
like-
starts making a weird noise. And
Yeah,
then he
dude.
just freaks out.
Like, you know, even if there's like gold or something in there, like, you know, a ghost is gonna kill you or something, like
Bless
some
you.
evil spirit.
Thank you.
I'm
Wow.
superstitious about polls.
No, I like.
Yeah,
I
I
like
hate
I
that.
know
I
about
hate
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I
that
feel like
like
that's BS.
no, it's not even okay. It's less even about
What's
like
a superstition about?
It's
behind
so
that?
inconvenient to like split.
okay. Explain
and
what
then
it
have
is
to
first.
walk
It's
back around.
it's like if I'm walking with somebody and there's a pole and they walk like on the other side. I know that it doesn't actually mean that we'll stop being friends, but it also gives me like a ping of anxiety because I'm like, ooh, like it's just like why can't you have just walked on the
So
same?
you
Amber,
don't believe in the
We
superstition.
split poles all the time,
And it
look
makes
at
me
how
very
great of friends
uncomfortable.
we are.
So it's less about the superstition, more about the anxiety.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you didn't answer the question correctly.
okay.
It's
So
just- and what did you say?
Saad said Nazar, aka
Nazar.
Evil Eye.
Okay, I mean, I guess that speaks for itself.
Yeah. I'm
You-
pretty scared of that. That's
And what do you do to avoid it?
I mean, like, so you could have like sort of small prayers and stuff like that you could always be reading. I think that's the key.
What's it like?
You
The
pray?
scariest nazar, like aunties giving it to you? Like,
No, I think like friends, man, like, or even
Friends.
like you know, people that you're no longer friends with, like, or like friends that you just didn't keep in like touch with, you know. So like you follow each other on Instagram and you follow each other on Facebook, and anytime anyone gets engaged or if they buy a house or if they buy something, then you know they put all that up on Facebook, and I mean we all do that at some point.
My man. You put up your Audi,
True.
your
That's
plane.
That's what I'm saying,
All
bro.
that type of stuff.
I'm afraid of Nazar, straight up. What's up?
So wait. So then you don't. But you're not like trying to avoid it.
Yeah, man. I'm just like I'm giving into the norm, you know. I'm not doing my own thing. That's what I'm saying. Like we should try to fight it, but at the same point, like, you know, I think that God willing, you know, everything, he controls everything, right? So I could try my best of avoiding certain things, but if something's meant to be, it's gonna happen.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. I just don't trust anybody. That's what my thing is about.
They did a poll and it says the evil eye or like Nazar is like number 2 in the world, like the most superstitious.
Oh wow.
The intern just gave us a good answer.
The
What'd you
intern
say, intern?
Ahmad
What'd you say, intern?
Hamayoun has
Evil eye is
said.
number 2. They did a
Evil Eye is number 2 on the superstitious list.
Yeah.
What did it say is number 1? Knocking on wood.
knocking on wood.
Oh,
Man.
I feel like
Yo, check if chests are on there.
No, I checked. You know what's really weird?
Dude, this is
They
the
have-
wrong
What else
list.
do they have on
Yeah,
there?
what else do
Look,
they have
this
on this
Birds
list?
flying.
Argentinian werewolves.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I said.
that's like right after
keep
the
going,
chest superstition. Come on, guys.
Birds flying into your home.
Mirrors.
Okay, like.
Oh, like
bring
what?
me-
I'm too hot, like,
Bro.
or what?
Toasting with water. Oh wait, what? That's like a bad thing.
I guess so.
Okay.
I do that all the time,
Purse
though.
wallet on the ground. I've heard of that. Sitting on the corner of a table, whistling. What?
All right, guys.
For us.
Oh,
No.
girls whistling.
Tuesday the 13th.
What is that?
What?
something-
All right.
They tell sometimes
Trimming
in
nails
cultures
at
they say.
night.
Well, look, that's specifically.
Yo, I always trim my nails at night.
In India, they have a lot of like superstitions, like not washing your hair on Tuesdays would like give you like you'll be sick,
What's
or
up?
like it'll. Some other superstitions will cause certain things to your mom and to your dad and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
Anyways,
interesting.
welcome to the Superstitious Podcast. Just kidding. Welcome to Strange Flavors. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. My name is Shimmer.
My name's Faras.
My name is Amber.
And my name is Saad.
We
That's
have
right.
Saad as
This
a
is the
guest
strangest and greatest podcast in the game. The number one co-host is back. I know you guys
Dang.
miss
What?
me.
Wait, hold on. You're calling Saad the #1 co-host.
Ooh.
Right before we started the podcast,
True.
he was like,
was I
yo, I
calling
would
him?
much rather have Ahmed.
I was talking about myself, actually.
No.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Sorry, son. You too. You know.
No, I don't want that now.
You're number
I don't-
two.
He said
Number
I would
two.
rather have Ahmed on than Saad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did say
podcast.
he
that.
did. So prove yourself today, Saad.
You know what? I'm not taking you on a flight, so yeah.
Bro,
Ooh.
I said it. You know.
Violet
no-
Saab has spoken.
Anyways, you can email us or send your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe the podcast app and SoundCloud and Stitcher. And you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube
At Strange Flavors.
at Strange Flavors.
Saad, you were talking about not taking Shimmer on a flight, so let's talk about that real quick. You are a new pilot.
Oh yes, sir.
Congratulations,
Congratulations
sir.
on
Thanks,
that.
guys. Thanks, guys. I
How does it
appreciate
feel?
Dude, it feels like a accomplishment. Like I think this is one of the biggest accomplishments in my life. I feel.
So, like, for people that, you know, like you work as an engineer on
Yes.
a daily basis, but
Yeah.
this is something that you decided to pursue on the side. And
Yeah.
usually people are like, you know, either an engineer or a pilot, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
over here like stacking up like Christian Grey, like 50 Shades of Grey style, like, okay, engineer,
For real,
pilot,
for real.
philanthropist. Like, what's next for you?
So, it would really mean a lot if you said mashallah. You know,
Mashallah.
while we were
Mashallah,
saying all
bro.
that too.
Mashallah.
Remember?
Thanks.
Evil Eye.
Evil Eye,
Mashallah.
come on.
So, dude, believe it or not, like, flying is something that I always wanted to do. Like, just, you know, it's just cool, like, watching the pilot, like, in the cockpit when you're getting on, like, your flight. You take a peek of what's going on up
He
there.
said cockpit.
You know? It's just cool, like,
What's
actually.
wrong with you?
Yeah, what is
Nobody
wrong?
else made that joke.
It's not a joke. What are you in second grade?
Clearly.
First grade.
I thought somebody
True.
else would have made the joke if I didn't.
Okay, clearly
He was,
Amber is the
he was
immature
telling an
one here.
emotional story,
Yeah.
and you just ruined it.
Thanks, Amber.
Come on, cockpit.
All right, back to Top Gun.
So funny about
So,
that.
yeah. So, yeah, then, like, the number one thing was just making the time. The time, because it takes, like, you know, you got to commit at least 2 lessons a week. Because if you're not doing 2 lessons a week, then you're going to, like, pretty much unlearn what you learned on your first lesson. And then your second lesson, you're going to be, like, relearning.
So you gotta be
kind-
consistent.
You have to be consistent, yeah.
Mm.
Is it
So-
harder than driving?
Oh, yeah, much, much harder, dude. Like, it's much harder. So, like, I'll give you the order. Like, takeoffs are fairly, like, difficult to get down. Landings are the most difficult part. Like, landing the plane is the most difficult
Yeah, I
part.
can
and that-
tell. Most of the airplanes, it's so harsh every time.
Yeah, like landings took me like forever. So before I got my actual license, I did 200 landings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and a good chunk of them were just terrible, like bouncy, 3 bounces, or like one of them were just like
Like the plane tires hit the ground and then up and then hit the ground again.
Yep.
Wow.
And you're aiming for no bounces?
I'm
Or
aiming,
one bounce?
aiming for like a smooth transition where you don't even feel
Not
the
even a
wheels.
bounce, no
Don't
bounce.
even feel
You know
the wheels
what's
touch the
crazy is
ground.
like your instructor, the people that are teaching you how to fly a plane.
Mhm.
I got to give them props because
Hell yeah.
this is not just like even you know, I've trained people how to drive a car,
Mhm.
right? That even is scary.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you go out on the real road and you're like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know
Yes.
how comfortable they are with it. This is a plane.
Yes.
You're-
Yes.
it's- a lot of people when they first get on a flight on like a commercial plane, they're like scared to death because they're like, you know,
Mhm.
you don't know how it's gonna go. You're in the air. You
Yeah.
feel like you're gonna get, you know, anything could happen. But now this person is trusting you
With their
a
life.
person who has never flown a plane before
Yes.
to like take off, land.
Yes.
I heard
be able to
planes
maneuver.
are safer than cars,
Oh,
actually.
okay. So those are commercial jets, though.
Okay.
Commercial jets are
I'm
way
talking about
safer.
one on like
We're
his
talking about
instructor.
we're talking about private planes.
Yeah. So
Private
that's not
planes,
safer?
Nah, no, like that's
Yeah.
like you know, because like there's a lot that could go wrong because we have a single engine.
Right.
If that fails, that's it.
Yeah.
You have to land the plane. So then they call that a forced landing because you don't have a choice. You have to force a landing. A commercial jet, they have backup engines.
Mm.
They have 4 engines. So if
Oh,
if
snap.
one fails, not a big deal. They can still fly. So it's not a state of emergency. But for us, like if the radios fail, state of emergency. If your lights fail, depending on what time of the day it is, it could be okay. But if it's nighttime, then yeah, it's a state of emergency. So there's a lot of instances where you could declare an emergency, and then everyone's just like on alert. Okay, this guy needs help. Everyone back away from the runway. What else do you need from us? That's what they're gonna tell you. Like, okay, how can we help you? Like, what do you need?
But
So
Saad is mashallah, a very good pilot.
Thanks,
He took
thanks.
us for a ride. He had a nice
a
smooth
flight.
takeoff and landing.
yeah.
Even though we couldn't find the runway at one point because the lights wouldn't turn on.
Yeah,
So that was a
so
little scary.
I just want to
Yeah.
say, I'm super lucky because I'm the only one here who was a part of that first flight that
Oh,
you
yeah.
took your friends on.
yeah, you were the first passenger I had.
yeah,
That's true.
that's
true.
what's up.
But then took the boys right after, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that flight
like-
was more lit though.
like the more honorary flight. You know?
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
the-
for sure.
Get the
Trial run.
the trial run out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got the one. But yeah, like I think real quick to finish this off, like I know that you have a lot more ambitions. I know you love to travel and do a lot of things. I know that you were the person that took me snowboarding for the first time, surfing for the first time. A lot of first times with you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I think I want to get sort of your perspective on sort of how you see life and just continuing to learn and pursue all these different things and see the world as much as you can. In this short amount of time, like why do you do that, and how does a normal person get to sort of experiencing all the things that you have?
Bro, that's a really heavy question.
Yeah.
He's like, I forgot what you said.
No. So just to answer in a couple of questions, like I think life's all about experiences, and you get that
Oh my
you
God.
get that best out of like traveling and just meeting new people and seeing different things in the world. Because there's so much to see and there's so much to do. There's like no way one person could do everything in this world and then die. I feel like that's impossible. So I feel like if we as a squad try as much as we can, that's the goal, man. Like that's the dream.
Dope.
Wasn't that
And
a part of his
speaking-
song?
What?
So much to see, so much to do.
Yeah, we do at the same time.
Speaking of traveling and seeing new things, Shimmer, you just came back from South Africa.
Gang.
Why is that a gang?
Because it was lit. It was so fire. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
What was the best part?
You guys aren't talking. I'm like, yeah, it's lit. Like,
It
what,
looked really.
what do you want me to say?
No, I saw your
views-
story. You went.
The views.
No, I was
were
ready
lit.
to go off of your vibe, but then you were like gang, and I was like,
Why gang?
What do I
I was
do- what do I
explaining it
do
was
with-
gang. It was lit. It was
Yeah.
you
awesome.
were explaining it was gang.
Yeah, it was gang.
Was that the? Was
you
that
know,
the,
you know Shimmer's language. Don't act like you don't know what that means.
Was that the first time you've been skydiving?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
okay.
you went skydiving. You went
But
to.
I didn't go to
Safari.
South Africa for skydiving.
Yeah. But I just
What'd
saw
you
you
go,
did
what'd
that,
you go
though.
to South Africa for?
So it was a friend's sister's wedding, right? And they were like, "Oh yeah, bring your like." My friend was like, "Yo, they invited you guys. Like, you guys can come." And we're like, "Oh, what better excuse there is to go?
True.
Like, it'd be a wedding, and we get to like experience South Africa."
Right.
Are they South African?
Yeah, they're South African.
Dope.
Yeah, so it was really cool. It was awesome. Every day was like packed with stuff. Like we just had so much to do, and we like hung out with their family and experienced Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Kruger National Park.
How was
So-
the actual wedding? Was it like a mix of cultures? Like
So there was
What's
a
a South African
There was a
wedding?
Mandy. The guy was Indian,
Okay.
right? And we had a Mandy the day before the wedding. And the funny thing is, the groom actually got a virus that
Oh,
day.
shit.
Oh my god.
And in the night, he went to the hospital, and all his brothers too. So 4 of them were all in the
got
hospital.
viruses?
Yeah, they got viruses.
Oh my gosh.
And then the next morning was the nikah, which is the marriage contract.
Right.
And
So you made it for that?
Barely. Like he was just like,
what kind of virus was this?
I think it was like some food virus or whatever that was going
Okay.
around between their siblings.
Shit.
And he was
Oh,
just
sorry.
like, and there's like, do you want this woman to be your wife? And he's just like, yeah. Like, he was just so like on
Oh, he was, like,
Benadryl,
not-
like he was loopy. He was on drips like earlier that day. And then later that day was just like a nice mountain, simple wedding, like kind of like an Americanized wedding. But it was just so nice, beautiful, so many like views. Like Cape Town is just an amazing place. It's so chill. It's like 50% mountains, 50% like city, and I just didn't want to leave. It was
Dope.
just so nice.
It looked really pretty, especially the Mandy look, and then
Oh
the
my gosh.
drums.
Oh, yeah, there
and
was,
Yeah,
like,
that's the
African
coolest
And the
scene that
mountain.
you. I was like living through your snaps. It was like those guys on those. What kind of drums were they? You know?
Xylophones.
Oh, they were
Yeah.
xylophones. Okay, they weren't drums.
Some of them were playing drums. But
Okay, so there, and then there was these mountains in the back, this like lake, and then
Yeah.
The light,
the
the way the
wedding
light, the
celebrations
sun
going
was
on.
hitting it.
Everyone was happy.
I was I was about to cry. Like I've never seen anything more beautiful.
The views were awesome.
Like literally, nothing more beautiful
views.
in terms of views. Yeah.
Why'd you look at me like right in the eyes when you said, "I've never seen anything more beautiful"?
Yeah, because you're number 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so cute though.
You fist bump for that.
No.
He doesn't want it. So can you? What was
That was
the? What, so the groom was like not feeling good at all, right?
No, but like he
Dude.
had a good attitude.
Okay.
Like he was just like trying.
Yeah, the
to
rest of the
survive.
wedding.
Everyone
so
was
after the
making
nikah-
jokes. Everyone was making jokes and stuff.
Okay, that's
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
Yeah.
So like after that, he was feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, no, he was completely fine. Like we
that's
actually
good.
went to the national park with him and
Yeah.
his whole family.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
they
that's
were
awesome.
all completely fine.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
the
by the time.
husband was Indian, and then the groom. I mean,
South
the
African.
bride. Oh, okay, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so it was an awesome time.
Congrats to the happy couple.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And actually, we had a lot of people that watch our videos in South Africa.
That's
There's
awesome.
So many
Wow.
people. I wish I could have met them, but they were just like, "Oh my gosh, hope you enjoy South Africa." Like a lot of them watch the videos. So I was like, "Yo, that's
Wow.
That's hype.
really cool." I
What's
didn't
up?
Shout out
expect
to
that.
anybody from South Africa
Yeah,
listening to the
shout out,
podcast.
shout out.
Shout
We
out.
welcome you, strangers.
Hopefully, we'll go again as a squad because
Inshallah.
I'd love to go there again.
Inshallah.
Like
Yeah.
That's lit.
it was just amazing.
Nice. Okay, I guess
Oh,
I'll.
my-
yeah, Shamir is usually like
I was-
doing this, but
Yeah.
Doing the
I was just
transitions.
he was so
invested in the story,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know if I was gonna get interviewed more.
So I have one more question.
Yeah, what you want to talk about? You talk about what you want to
I
talk
don't
about.
know.
I have one more question.
He was like, "Don't tell me anything about South Africa. Like, tell me about it on the podcast." I'm like, "Okay, maybe he has
How
a
are
bunch
the
of
Oh no,
people?
but then I saw the vlog and I was like, okay, so
Okay.
How are the people?
true.
People were like
Like the locals.
so nice. I guess they were
Mhm.
very like chill about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was funny. So this is kind of relevant, I guess. So we had an Uber driver, right? And he was African, like black skinned,
Mhm.
and he was driving us, right? And then we went somewhere, and then a couple hours later, we called an Uber again. It was the same guy.
Oh, true.
And we told him we were American and everything. You're like, "Yo, we just rode with you." And he was like, "What up, my N?" And he said the N word, like because the N word is not a huge thing over there.
In South Africa.
Really? In
Trevor
South
Noah
Africa.
said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said that that's like a common term that
Yeah.
they use, just
Like it's
friendly.
not racist.
Yeah.
Is it,
over
is,
there.
is it
Well,
like
it's an American thing, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
it was
American
invented here
thing.
for
But-
against the slaves.
Yeah.
but-
So
Is
he
it-
was so excited to use it with us.
Is it
we
like-
didn't say it back,
Mm.
obviously.
is it like
But-
man? Like when I sometimes I don't like
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? Is like what's up, man?
No, they don't say it like
They
that.
don't-
Like
yeah.
they don't use it at all. That's why he's
Yeah.
so excited to use it
There's,
with
Oh.
it's not
us.
coined a racist term,
Yeah.
and it's just not
Oh,
a word
gotcha.
that they use in their
Yeah.
language.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just like he was just so excited to use it with us.
Were there any drawbacks on the
Of-
trip?
No, because I was expecting like Pakistan level. Like I had to watch out for everything. Like Pakistan really like
You
Your
have to.
Your like stomach didn't get messed up or anything?
No, like I could honestly the tap water tasted better there than it does here.
Wow.
Like I could drink every dairy. Like the food tasted so much better. Like it was just so nice. I like lived so peacefully there. Like it was just so nice. I was away from you guys. Like it was just so nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bet you did enjoy that a little
Yeah.
bit too much, Shamir.
Your
yeah.
friends were very enthusiastic, by the way.
Yeah, super enthusiastic.
Was there anything else about this trip?
Everyone should go at least once in their life.
So,
Like,
what was your least favorite thing about the trip?
the least favorite thing? I don't know. Like, it was just I could have packed in more, but my friends were kind of they valued sleep a lot, so that's
oh,
it.
like done more things.
Done more things.
Yeah, like personally, when I
You
travel,
were Ubering
like,
everywhere.
and then we
Yeah.
rented a car
Oh, okay.
one of the days.
Yeah.
But I mean, like personally, how I like to travel, like how we travel, is like very fast paced, and we see a lot of things, and
Yeah.
and that's how I travel, even when I'm like with my family or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with other people, it's kind of slower a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
honestly, when I'm traveling, I feel like sleeping's a waste of time.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I'm okay with 0 hours of sleep. Like
Yeah.
I'll.
Saad actually sleeps with his eyes open,
Yeah.
so never misses anything.
Never miss anything.
You don't even want to miss like anything that happens through the night. So
Yeah, but now I'm
Exactly.
back with the homies. We're excited doing this podcast. gang,
Keep
lit.
shining.
Vlogs coming out on Wednesday.
Swag, yeah.
Let's
We're
go.
back again. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, what?
Nothing. I'm just stretching my legs out.
Okay. Speaking of South Africa, this is the worst transition. Soulja Boy.
Wait,
It has nothing to do with
hold
South
on.
Africa.
Hold on.
Okay, you tried. Sometimes the transition isn't
Okay,
necessary.
okay, maybe North Africa, whatever part of Africa he's
He's
from.
Is he?
Is he even African?
No.
No, I think
okay.
he's
African
American.
American.
Jersey.
Jersey.
I don't know where is he from?
He's
Do you
from
know?
Compton.
Compton. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Soulja Boy.
So
Young Draco.
speaking of West America, we got
We
Soulja
weren't
Boy.
speaking of West America, but yeah, Young Draco. So did you guys see this Soulja Boy interview recently on The Breakfast Club?
Dude, it's,
I
Any
saw
parts
clips.
of it?
I saw
yeah.
clips, Twitter clips.
Man, I forgot how legendary Soulja Boy is.
I think
For
we all
real.
did.
Now,
Everyone
a lot of
forgot.
a lot of people are hating on Soulja, but they don't understand. Like they weren't. So we came up in middle school. Crank That came out. Yeah,
Crank
was
That
that right?
Soulja Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This song was a game changer. If you saw this song at the age that we saw it, it was. Saad, did you know about the song?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Was it hype?
What were you
Wait,
like?
It was. Yeah, it
Were
was
you
hype.
like 40 or 50 by then?
No, I was like a freshman, I think. Freshman in college.
In college.
Oh, I thought
in
you were in the
college.
retirement home. So okay, so was it big for you guys in
It was
Florida?
hype. It was hype. Yeah, it was hype.
Yeah, like this was kind of the first time that like this rapper was taking the internet by storm, and
Yeah.
every color of person was doing the dance,
Soulja Boy.
listening to it, and
Yeah.
it was a viral video. It was song was absolutely viral. And yeah, like it.
The dance. It was a combination of the song and the dance that was like iconic.
And I think that for the first time, like he was making it cool. Like before that, it was a lot of gangster image in what's it called, like hip hop.
Yeah.
And even though he had the baggy clothes on, I think that he inspired a lot of these new rappers coming up now. Like it was him and like a combination of him and Lil Wayne. I feel like
And Kanye.
Kanye in what way? What do you mean?
Like Kanye made it cool to not be a suburban rapper.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. And so he was claiming things beyond that on the show. He said that he taught Drake everything he knows, which actually like that's. I mean, I don't think that's true, but
Yeah.
but for a part of it, like Drake did take direct lyrics from a Soulja Boy song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When he says, "Tell me what's really going on, Drizzy back up in this thing,
Right.
it's happening." Like that was a Soulja Boy song. He says,
Right. And how did
and-
Soulja Boy's one go?
same exact way,
Yeah.
same.
Tell me.
Yeah, tell me what's really going
True.
on, Soulja
Okay.
Boy.
Wait, why
and
is he
this thing.
coming out
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Was he coming out about that before? Or
No. So he was on the show, and he said he had the biggest comeback of 2018, which again I don't know about that.
What-
maybe
what was-
2019.
We're talking
Wait, what
about-
was 2018? What made him so big in 2018?
Well, he was popping off with the video game systems he was selling, right?
Yeah,
Or-
well,
Video
he
game
just started doing
systems.
that, but like actually, Soulja Boy has been behind the scenes of a lot of things. He's produced for other people.
Charlamagne's reaction to him the whole time was
Yo-
the best part. He was like, when Soulja Boy claimed that he taught Drake everything he knew, and Charlamagne in the back is like going mind blown.
'Cause-
His reaction makes it.
I don't know why
Soulja Boy
it's-
and like it's not a bad
Pit stains.
it's not a bad claim. Like honestly, what he's saying is that he brought up a lot of like the rappers you see now, and people were stealing from his vibe, and his melodies were insane. Everyone had his ringtones. Like he was really doing that. So yeah, and he had the comeback thing. I don't know about that because we're talking about a year with Meek Mill coming out of jail. And he said that he was bigger than Tyga, and Tyga tweeted back. He's like. He was like, who had a bigger year? And Tyga's numbers were way higher than Soulja Boy, so that was factually incorrect.
Also, wasn't he trying to box somebody?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Who? Soulja Boy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he was
my
beefing
God.
with him. But I mean, as far as like getting his clout up in the internet world, he's doing it again.
Right.
My man.
Like it worked.
I'm
whatever.
so excited.
Okay, but then Ariana Grande dropped a song, and now he's trying to claim that he literally tweeted at her saying, "You're a thief." And I don't think Ariana Grande was
And
really.
it was the song. This.
You never know.
Right here.
It's my swag. Oh,
And what's the
the
Ariana
girls-
Grande version?
Sing
it, Amber.
I don't know. I only heard it today, but it was.
it's similar.
Similar flow.
It was similar flow, but okay, like
I
come
doubt
on,
it. Like,
like she's really not worried about Soulja Boy when she's writing the song about like drinking wine with her 7 best friends or whatever.
Yeah.
What's her song? 7 Rings.
Seven
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah.
That's the one. You know what? Give Soulja his credit.
You,
I say
Your team
put
Soulja?
respect.
I think that it's
I say
fun.
put respect on Soulja Boy's name.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
I think he's hilarious as a meme. I'm excited to see what he does in 2019.
He knows he's a meme though. Like
Yeah.
He's
embracing
using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he's not too off. As far as people think that he's just like crazy, he's not that much off.
Yeah.
And he is like
There's
the video
some-
game
there's
console.
some,
There's no rapper that
facts
has
to
a
it.
video game console, and there's
Well-
people that are shutting him down. Like, yo, why do you have so many
to
businesses?
dispute that, he's been buying like Chinese off-brand systems that have emulators, and then he's like putting his name on it.
Okay,
so he's
so-
not making them by
So
scratch.
I don't. So the point is that people are still knocking his hustle.
Yeah.
And he does so much. Like, ever since he started, I remember following him and seeing that he was always investing into businesses. And he started a lot of different things, and he took an early jab at like the video game industry. I remember when he first came out with Crank That, he was dealing with Sony, and he was getting like custom PlayStation stuff. So my point is that like people that don't want Soulja to succeed are also knocking like black-owned business, and you're like putting that down. Why don't you like let him do what he's doing? Because he's a hustler.
Yeah.
He's still in it. And he's going to have the biggest comeback of 2019 if he doesn't have it for 2018, okay?
Yeah.
Young Draco.
Have you seen
Hold on.
go ahead.
But speaking of knocking off Chinese stuff, did you guys see that Bad Baby got signed by this makeup company for $900,000, and the whole company is called Copycat, right?
So this is Catch Me Outside Girl?
Catch Me Outside Girl.
What?
She got signed.
Entrepreneur.
She got signed to this company called Copycat, and the whole like idea of this brand, pull it up, Emma, this is hilarious. They actually are trying to compare high-end makeup and saying we're selling the same exact thing, but like for like 5%
Fraction.
of the price.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like much cheaper. So when she's advertising it, yeah, I said that. So basically, the way that she's advertising it, even in her YouTube video, is here is the real makeup one, and here's mine, and it's hilarious because it's actually called Copycat, and that's how
insane.
they're trying to market the whole thing. It's just funny because people are like saying that she's also a knockoff rapper, and that
She's
like,
embracing
bought
it.
this-
She's like, I'm a knockoff.
Exactly. I think
makeup
it's
artist too now.
great. I think it's great.
You know what?
Savage.
I say that these companies, they see people like this, these internet people, as a dollar sign, and they're like, we're gonna take an opportunity. So I get that they're a business and they're doing that. On her end, I get that she's hustling and she's trying to make a living for herself. And no matter what she does, people will always tell her like, "Oh, you're still the Catch Me Outside girl, and whatever." But you can't expect her to just drop everything and not hustle. You know?
Yeah.
sure.
So at least if she's trying to do her business and stuff, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, you can blame the consumer a little bit. Like we're feeding into it.
Sure.
So it's just like, yo, like the more you talk about her, the more, dang, we're just feeding into.
And I think I
Wow.
think as artists and as businesses, what you can do to combat people like this blowing up is set a positive example. Do the right thing and
not mention her name like we are doing now.
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is.
She's
like
only
you,
15, man.
No,
I doubt she.
I
even knows
really
she's-
doubt it. Like
Yeah.
I personally don't care. Like, do your thing. That's fire. Savage. She's a
I mean,
savage.
it's just funny because she's like.
you gonna get some?
I already
You
bought like.
Oh,
Alright,
she's
so
feeding
she's
into
a
it.
literal consumer.
She's a consumer.
She's
No,
buying.
but I
Wow.
bought it because I'm trying to gain clout
You
from
buy
the
her
video.
mixtape too? Did you buy her
Yeah.
mixtape?
Here, look.
Amber,
look,
did you buy her mixtape?
look.
Actually, her recent song
Don't
that she
say it.
had with
Don't
Tory
say it.
Lanez. Saad, when I show you, it's low key fire, bro.
Yeah.
So
Why?
you
Wait,
bought
did
the
you guys
mixtape.
find they like exposed who her like writer is? Her name's like
Oh, she has a writer?
Brittany Barber.
Barber,
Yeah,
do
that's
you
her.
love
That's her
me?
writer. She writes like most of her music.
Wow.
But yeah,
Dang.
do you see this compared to Stila, and then it crosses all? It's just
$4.99,
it's just hilarious.
but it's $49.99.
So it's Too Faced chocolate gold eyeshadow, and then hers is called Cocoa eyeshadow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Is this like? Does this make you happy?
It makes me happy because like I don't know, it's just like really trolly.
So
Like, why
Amber,
can't?
next time we do like a video where we do your makeup and
Mhm.
let's use this fake makeup, not the
Are
real thing.
you guys down for that?
Yeah.
Is
I'm
it
done.
fake makeup
I
though?
won't. I
Like,
won't feel as
It's-
bad because
It's the thing is, so I'm sure it's like, a lot more cheaply made. It does say cruelty free, but if you look down at her logo, I know you guys don't know this, but her logo looks exactly like Anastasia's. Like,
that?
Who's Anastasia?
it's another high-end makeup brand.
Okay, dope. That's cool. Interesting.
Yes.
Makeup brands. A lot of infamous people.
Oh my god.
inf-
See, okay, do you guys see? You guys see? You
Jimmer
guys see?
lost a touch after
You
South
guys,
Africa.
you guys see? You guys see
I've
the
just been
brand?
so chill.
The logo?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it's
wow.
like identical.
She is a copycat. Speaking of infamous people that are blowing up, R. Kelly has had a documentary.
Oh man, have you guys seen it?
Yeah, have you watched it?
Yeah, I
it's
did.
Surviving R. Kelly.
I did.
I have not seen it.
I was like, I had to watch
I feel
the
like I
whole
don't want to
thing when I
watch
started
this.
watching it. It was
Do I
Actually, it's very hard to watch.
It's
I'm not
really
gonna
hard
lie.
to watch, but it was like once I started learning about it, I was like, wait, I need to know the whole story, and I had to just watch the whole thing.
So like, what is it about?
So it's like it goes through like pretty much 20 plus years of girls that he has abused,
Damn.
sexually, physically, mentally.
Yeah.
And they all kind of, and actually there's them, their parents, and like people that were on his team and his family members, like his brothers, who all speak on what was going on during all this time. And the crazy thing is that everybody around him knew
Right.
that these things were happening.
And they did nothing.
They protected him.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I had no idea that him and Aaliyah were together in this whole thing. It's like there's like this whole like generation, because this happened in 1994. That's the year I was born. I feel like I didn't even know any of that. And then
The Aaliyah thing, not the whole thing.
yeah, the Aaliyah thing.
This has been happening.
And then her single or whatever her album is was called Age is Nothing But a Number, and he's the one who produced it. And it's just wild thinking from that time period till now, and he's still after these young girls, just like more smart now, choosing 19-year-old girls instead of 15 and 16-year-old girls.
And there was a girl in there that was 13.
Mm-hmm. That was
and
Sparkle's niece.
That was the one that got peed on.
Right.
And it's just, and that's a video that was released.
Mm-hmm.
And it really made me think again. Dave Chappelle had a sketch about
Yeah, he did.
R. Kelly peeing and stuff like that. But now seeing back and hearing people talk about it, it's such a sensitive thing that
Right.
I can't believe that this really happened. Like, I remember hearing as a kid about R. Kelly peeing jokes,
Yeah.
and I thought
Take
it was
it
funny
seriously,
too,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they described it, being locked up in their rooms and literally being abused all the time, and him forcing them not to eat and all types of
Asking
things, call him.
permission, and
They were only allowed to call him daddy. They needed permission to go to the bathroom and all types of things.
What?
Like they were, and we're talking about girls that like have not developed.
Personality.
they're still naive. They're still very naive.
Yeah.
Like
Like
they don't
teenage
know.
girls.
Yeah,
Fans of him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
fans and people that
Bro.
people that wanted to be singers.
Oh,
They
yeah.
wanted a shot, and he said that he would
give
things
them a
for
career and stuff.
And then how are they supposed to like say no when he's like doing things
This
and
big,
they're
yeah.
little girls, they're like they don't necessarily know. And people are asking where were the parents in this, and we find out in the series what happened. But he did get dropped by RCA Records, and
What about
and
Jail Time?
Sony Music is the parent company. So Jail Time, like
He finessed his way out of the first trial.
there was no there's not enough
Evidence.
proven evidence.
No, they were trying to claim that it wasn't even him in the P video.
Right.
That it was maybe his brother, maybe da-da-da, but it wasn't him. Which
like they
is
denied.
wild.
He denied all claims of.
He was like,
everything
that's not
happening.
me. Straight
and,
up.
And also, a lot of these girls now are coming out, and then even some of them now still are saying that it wasn't them because they don't want to embarrass
Mm-hmm.
themselves or their families, and different types of things like that. And
And
what-
also, one of the girls that he ended up, trapping and everything was one of the fans that was outside the courtroom at his trial.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So he, lured in one of the younger girls that he saw outside. But the thing is, it shows you, the shift in the world, how
He has a show coming up soon.
literally, if in 1994 Aaliyah was 14 years old, 15 years old, he's 27 years old, and nobody was making a fuss about them being married or them whatever being together, and the music reporters were talking about it, they're like, in our heads we just kind of wrote it off because they're both in music, they have a different set of rules and stuff, and I just don't feel like it would fly today.
Yeah.
I don't think that would fly
I mean,
today.
it's flying right now. Emma's showing us tickets being almost gone in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the
7%.
fans
So
a lot
that
of
are
his tour,
left.
a lot of his shows are getting canceled now. He's I guess going to Germany, but this whole thing it sparked a mute R. Kelly movement, but people weren't actually muting him because he started coming up on the charts again for Apple and Spotify and things, and Spotify did penalize him. You guys remember when they penalized XXX Tentacion for his allegations?
Yeah.
And they muted R. Kelly at the same time, but then that was only brief because people were like, that's not really fair because you would have to penalize people like Michael Jackson and whoever else that might have allegations because he still hasn't actually,
convicted.
done the jail
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
Right.
for all of these things. So, it's crazy that there's a lot of people that are listening to him still and still believe certain things and still saying that, oh, he's a legend, so you know it doesn't take away from his music and stuff, which that is true. Musically he is very good, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you mute R. Kelly?
I feel like once you realize that he was literally, and they say this in the documentary, hiding in plain sight, like he wasn't slick with it. Like he was
like all his songs were very obvious about what he was doing.
Exactly. And like for so many people around him to protect him and for him to be able to get away with this for so long, I don't know, like if his music was irrelevant, maybe don't mute him or whatever. But like his music is literally out loud admitting what he does. And we were just like, you know, I mean, I wasn't like an avid listener, so like I didn't really know, but I don't know.
Has he respond to this, like this documentary at all?
He just said it's not true.
So
stuff like that.
So I think he is actually in between some different legal things about what he can do to people who might be trying to defame him and things like that.
His ex-wife was in it too, Shami.
Yeah,
that's
like
scary.
literally like saying like this is how I was
they have
treated
kids
by
together
him.
too. Their kids spoke on it.
Oh my gosh.
But I want to know, like, from his perspective now. Okay, so apparently he was abused as a child too, and
Right.
there are like
by his sister.
psychologists who and some man
Oh, I didn't know
was
about
mentioned.
that.
Yeah, I think it was like a neighbor or a relative or something, an older man. But there was psychologists in the video that were saying that, you know, like a lot of these abusers do become, or the abused becomes the abuser,
Because
right?
they didn't have the power, and now they want to have the
and
power.
it's a power thing, right?
Right.
And so I wonder from if he never had the right people around him, and he was, you know, if they had told him like, you know, this is something is going on, you need to get this checked out, and this is something that you are still dealing with from your childhood. I don't know if there's like you can have really empathy for that.
Not when you get older, instead of protecting the youth, you do that and then 10 times worse.
But think about this. I think that a lot of what was going on back then was almost normal for celebrities. Think about think about R. Kelly. Think about Ludacris, 50 Cent, whoever, like Snoop Dogg. A lot of these people that have lyrics in their songs that are very like
sexualizing younger girls.
Yeah, not only that, but kind of predatory.
Okay.
And so that was almost like if you're a artist in hip hop or R&B, like that is something that you are doing, and that's normal. With a lot of what's going on now, which doesn't make it okay, but
I was gonna say, like, there's a difference of, you know, and I'm not saying it's okay to rap like that and to put out lyrics like that, but when you're actually having these girls, brainwashing them, taking them away from their family, making them shit in a bucket, like that's a different level.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, I have no sympathy.
I'm saying that is wrong, 100%. Now we have a lot more awareness and things like that. When your idol is saying like, oh, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, like what kind of example does that set? And if you're coming up in the rap game or in this hip hop culture in general, aren't you kind of assuming already like, oh, this is what comes with it, and so that becomes a norm?
No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you completely.
No,
Just
man.
because you're rapping about
Yeah.
something about even sexualizing a woman and even womanizers, all that type of stuff, lyrics such as that
Yeah.
is nowhere in comparison. You cannot even put it on the same level as actually acting upon it, and not only acting upon it, doing it 10 times worse to a younger girls, and doing it in mass amounts, and doing it in places that is like, you know.
But why are we ignoring that a certain time period was this way?
I'm not saying we should ignore it. We should, okay, this was being said. We're
Yeah.
recognizing that. That's what
My
the
point is-
the documentary
just-
is recognizing it. But what R. Kelly did is not on that level, and we can't compare it.
Of course. R. Kelly is above and beyond that. I'm saying that why is it only R. Kelly? Why aren't we also investigating what else was going on during that? Why aren't like more rappers
If
coming out
another
and being like,
rapper, we see that they had been locking up other girls, I'm canceling them the same
I
amount.
think everybody
Trust and
who's,
believe.
like Bill Cosby, like
Something like that as
even
well.
who? Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon did say that he was kind of around similar energy.
Okay,
yeah.
and if something came out about Nick Cannon where he did something like that, trust and believe I'm canceling him
Yeah,
too.
everybody's gonna cancel
But-
him. But I think they haven't just found anything. They're not like seeking for it.
Wasn't there
There was 20, there was like 15, 20 victims on this documentary talking about in-depth details about what they dealt with. And you could tell that they weren't just lying or whatever. This is his ex-wife saying that he had put so many mind games into these girls to make them so submissive to the point where they had no self-confidence, no ability to stand
Amber,
up for themselves.
Like what R. Kelly did, all of that stuff is horrible. I'm talking about instead of I think that as a society we focus too much on, oh my God, R. Kelly. Okay, let's deal with him, but let's also figure out as a society how we prevent this from happening and how we expose what had been happening from that point up until now with other people in the same industry.
So you know,
I'm talking about everybody around him knew that this was going on.
right.
We should hold all of them accountable
For sure.
as well.
For sure.
And we should expose everything that was going on with everybody, and people should come forward before it's too late. You know, all this stuff that was happening in Hollywood.
With the Me Too movement.
With the Me Too
That's what I'm
movement,
saying
all
is
these-
it had
all
to
these
like
producers,
how
directors-
Harvey Weinstein, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like how
It
he was
sparked-
he was like, you know, a lot of people put a lot of attention on that. They're like, okay, we need to pay attention, but you have to first recognize here is one really big problem. Now let's go from here. I'm sure it'll open a door to a lot of other people and expose a lot more of what's happening behind the scenes. I think it also is important to take the time and recognize what's happening
Yeah.
here, and I think the documentary did a good job of. Maybe it could have done a little bit of a better job of exposing the people around him, because it was a little bit like sympathizing towards the people, because the people who were around him were speaking in it too. So maybe they could have done a better job of exposing that. But I think that as that's all coming out, we have to recognize individually this is something that is not on any level that we can compare right now. Also,
Yeah.
there's another problem in the background. Let's address that too. But first and foremost, we got to get
You
this
guys
shit
didn't
cleared.
answer my question though. Are you muting R. Kelly?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
For
You're
sure.
not gonna listen to his music.
For sure.
I barely listen to his music.
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay,
I didn't
wait,
know
let me
that.
ask you. Let me ask you a question. For example,
Like I
you know, I don't want to speak bad on anybody, but let's say your favorite artist.
My
Just think
favorite,
about
yeah,
whoever
yeah.
that is. Has something come out exposed about them on this level. Do you stop listening to them?
it depends. I don't know. I need to know, but I would like to say I would mute them. I think. Because then a lot of
I mean, no, it's a pretty straightforward question. Like, if let's say Logic or Eminem, did stuff like this, what would you do?
I would like to say I would. It's not a straightforward question because usually the music I listen to, I guess, is like the lyrics mean a lot, right? And if the stuff that they did goes against those lyrics, then I'd cancel anybody.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
then none of that means anything,
Yeah.
right?
Would you, Saad?
Heck yeah, man.
You would cancel?
Yeah, straight up. Like, I haven't seen this documentary about R. Kelly, but I did hear allegations and stuff like that. But yeah, anyone, like, if you do stuff like that, that's it. It's just like,
I don't agree with that.
That's like you're not a person. I feel you're a monster at that point. You don't deserve life.
I mean,
I think it's different in this case because his music was so telling of his actions too. It's not
True,
like he
that's
was.
a good point.
It's not like his music was talking about like super like like I believe in this type of romance and da 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 and like whatever. He was speaking his truth in his music, and I feel like that plays a lot of why he should also be canceled because he was a predator in hiding in plain sight.
I just think that as art can be appreciated in a certain way, and then the artist does not necessarily. Okay, take Kevin Spacey for example. Okay, now this is an actor, or any actor for that matter. Their job
But
is
I think
to act.
it's very different because of what she said.
Yeah.
I said that's a good point.
Yeah.
But my
But
thing
I
is that
agree with
like
you.
as an actor, you are portraying something else. A lot of times people get disappointed in finding out that the actor is not what they saw on screen as the character that they fell in love with or admired so much, because they do not represent the same values or they do not act the same, have the same personality for whatever reason. But that could go the same way with what that character has done and what that actor has done. So Kevin Spacey, he has allegations against him, yet people are like, I still am going to watch House of Cards or whatever movie he's in because he is portraying whatever the director or writer scripted, and yada yada yada.
And it
So
I feel like it's also affects everybody else. Like these directors put in
Sure.
a lot of effort, and they didn't know this guy was doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't. Obviously, if they knew, they wouldn't put him in.
So
Like-
we listen to.
Affects
So my example of what we do is we listen to XX, we listen to 6ix9ine, and we don't agree with what these people have done at
Right.
all, right? But I'm not gonna pretend like 6ix9ine doesn't pump me up when I'm at the gym or something.
But if 6ix9ine was like, I mess with younger girls and da 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 da.
Okay,
and,
he didn't-
and
okay.
I'm just if he was saying
R. Kelly doesn't like.
I know
say that
he
directly
doesn't
there.
say it that directly, but it's still like his lyrics do speak of what he says.
It's. I mean, 6ix9ine says, "I'll murder you" and this and that in his songs.
but
too.
that's also but we have no proof that he's murdered anyone.
And same with like the rappers that I mentioned that have songs about hoes and tricks and this and that. Like 50 Cent songs are horrible, but like, you know, they were
if
at the
6ix9ine was rapping about something that then came out to be anything
Uh-huh.
at the level of
Yeah.
what R. Kelly did, or even a little bit less, because R. Kelly was really on some other shit. If that came, I would cancel 6ix9ine too. And you know, I'm a big 6ix9ine fan. It doesn't matter. Like if you're gonna be saying it's different when you're creating your art and you're not just reading a script for, you know, off of for somebody's movie. There's a director and the whole idea behind it. You created your music, you wrote the lyrics, you said everything, and now that's telling
Sure.
of what you did. So I think it's different, and we have to treat that type of art differently. I understand though that you can appreciate art separately, and I'm not against that. But in this situation, I feel like it's very this is one of the times that we have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. What was that, Emma?
I was gonna say, he did an interview with MTV real quick, and he's talking about how he got like sexually abused at 7, 8, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
And he like kind of blamed in the interview. He kind of blamed like, oh, it's a generational curse. So like, he doesn't blame the people who like abused him, and like he's kind of using
Okay,
that
so
as,
he's
like,
saying that he's been abused and people before him have been abused, and he continues to do it. Okay, well, if he knows enough about that history repeating, then he knows better to not repeat it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've seen.
Bill Cosby is like, he doesn't really believe those allegations, and he's like always looked up to Bill Cosby. So that's kind of
Interesting. I mean, I
concerning.
guess that speaks of him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to hear about what you guys have to say
Yeah.
on
Share your
this.
thoughts.
Would you mute your favorite artist if they came out with allegations, or do you think that the art stands by itself separate from the artist? And speaking of you guys sending in some stuff, I wanna hit your guys' questions right before we hit our last few topics and then close it out. Arabian Goddess said, "What's the worst thing you've done to each other?"
What's the worst thing we've done to each other?
Saad, we've pranked you a few times.
bro.
Oh yeah.
What was the worst prank?
So, well, let me start by talking about the prank that I pulled on you, where I pulled you over. I had those fake cop lights.
That was a good prank.
That was
That's
a
not
good
the worst
prank.
thing you've ever done to me.
That was pretty good, because you thought you were about to get
So-
killed or something.
So Saad pulled me over with fake cop lights one time. I was on. We were on the way home.
So you didn't know I bought this new car,
Yeah.
and you had no idea. You just dropped me off home, and then I got in this car and I came behind you and I pulled you over.
And the way it happened was like I'm getting pulled over and I'm like, wait, what? I was probably doing like 10 over or something. So I'm like, this can't be that big of a deal.
And then I step
pull
out of my
over.
car.
No, wait. It was before that happened.
Uh-huh.
There was a scare happening inside the car already.
What was that?
So I pull over. My sister's next to me. She's like, nice job. I was just like, Appa, I wasn't going that fast. Like, you know, whatever. She's like, okay, get out your stuff, your license and your registration. I was like, let him come here first. And then I was like, and she was like, no, just do it now so we can get home, because it was very late. And I'm just like, no, just wait. And then she's like insisting that I do it. So then I start doing it, right? I start getting out the stuff. And now Saad is already out of his car, and I don't know that it's him.
And then
he
I'm
yells.
yelling, step out of the car! Son, step out of the car!
So I'm thinking that he thinks I'm reaching for a gun or something. I'm like, see, Appa, like, this is what I was telling you. He thinks I'm... And I think that I'm literally about to, like, get shot or something. Because
awesome.
he thinks that I'm getting a gun or something. And then my sister goes, you idiot. And I'm like, why are you saying that to the cop? I'm about to get shot. But she had already seen that it was Saad. And then I turn around, I see it's Saad. I'm like, boy.
And I've never
How can you
seen
do
Faraz
that?
like being Mr. Krabs. Like he's a Mr. Krabs. He's just like staring at me, and I'm like, bro, what's good?
So were you like happy or like so mad or like were you?
Yeah, what were you-
relieved?
I was relieved for sure because I literally thought I was about to get shot. And you know, like on a serious note, like a lot of this type of stuff was happening around us in the news, and I don't mess with that. You know, being a minority in a all white town, like it's a scary thing. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like legit scared, and then I saw him. I was relieved, and then I saw his new car. I was like, "Yo, this is sick!
Hype.
Why did you do that?" There was another way to show me, but
So the
yeah.
worst thing you
Was
guys have probably done is prank me with Max. I think that was the worst thing. So that prank actually had me like, damn, what is going on? Like I was freaked out.
So
We're going on a trip to California,
San
to San Diego.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like a month or like 2 weeks in advance, Saad's ex-tenant or roommate/friend, he's like, yo,
he's not an ex-friend though. He's still friends.
yeah.
Still friends. Yeah.
He lives in San Diego, and he was like, yo, you guys are coming through, like you can stay at my like place. And so Frost was like, yo, we should not tell Saad. We should just say we got an Airbnb.
Hate you guys.
And so we get there, and Max is giving Frost like instructions, like, yo, go from the back. And then we know that Max is in there hiding, and so he's gonna go out and scare Saad once we like say it's a random Airbnb.
So whose idea was it to hide under the sink?
Just Max and I coordinated, like we
Yeah.
figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like we walk in through the back, and we're like trying to set a scene. You're like, yo, this is very sketchy. Like we're just trying to implant some like stuff inside.
And then I hear noises. You're like, knock, knock. I'm like, what's going on? And then all you guys are like adding to it. Like, yo, what is that?
Yeah,
What
we
is
were like,
that?
whoa, what is that? We all knew like Max was hiding somewhere. I didn't know he was hiding under the sink,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know how he's gonna come out. But I just knew he was hiding. And
Bro,
so-
I was just about to open that like door too. I was just about to open it, and then you're like, jump out, and he like steps out, and I see his legs coming out. I'm like, what is going on?
So pretty much
That was
we scared Saad by thinking that someone was in the house that we were staying at,
Yeah.
and he jumped up on the counter and,
and
got super
Saad
scared.
said thought it was like the landlord or
I
something.
thought the landlord was trying to like scare us or something. I'm like, what is he doing?
That was pretty-
So what about Amber? Like, what have you guys done to Amber?
what's the worst thing that
Done
we've
to
done to you, Amber?
There's
She has like a list too
A
long.
list?
literally like I don't even
What's
know.
like the top two? Let's hear the top two.
I don't know. I don't
Shamir,
know.
you got one?
To you guys, or what you got done to me?
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
What's
don't
the worst
know.
thing that we've done to you, or Amber? What's the worst thing we've done to you?
I think like existing in my life. Like, no, I'm just joking.
Like,
I don't know. You guys are pretty dope. Pretty
Oh,
cool. So-
nice.
Wow, I
Done
wasn't
nothing.
expecting-
like even if it's bad, it's not bad. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Just
I mean, even when we have fights, that's just like kind of like
it's just like fun.
yeah,
It's
in a
still-
good way. Yeah. You know, like when we
Say
make fun of
fights are fun.
Shamu.
Yeah.
That's like good in a way. You
What's
know.
I'm like trying to think.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next question. Rida284 says, if you guys could be each other for a day, who would it be and why? Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good question.
So let's do it with just the people that are talking right now.
Okay.
If you could be somebody else, who would you be and why? It's okay,
I'ma
guys.
say-
I know you all want to be me. That's fine.
No,
No, no,
I'm trying to
relax.
think.
No.
So I can only pick
Relax.
between you three, right? So let's think.
I'm gonna go with Saad. I think
Word.
he has an interesting life and like thought process.
Well, also it's because I'm like much older than you guys. So
yeah,
I'm
like I
want to
see how actually wise he is. Like,
You want to see
Yeah.
how bad your back hurts and like how weak your knees are.
yeah,
And
and
cut
how it
off the
feels
gray
to
hairs.
own 2 houses and be a pilot,
Thanks,
and
man.
now drive a dope car, and
Mashallah.
mashallah,
Thanks.
and go to the gym every day and still have no legs.
You
Like,
could
I
go to
want to know
the
how
gym
that
every
feels. I'm just joking, but
So to answer your question or to answer the question, I can't pick between all three of you because all of you have things in your lives and
What a diplomatic
char-
answer.
I know.
You gotta
characters
pick
that
one, my
I
boy.
want from every single
Pick one. Pick
I
one.
can't, man.
Pick
It's
one.
hard.
Pick one.
I can't. Like
On
I
the
want
spot.
something
for,
from
for,
everyone.
for podcast sake. Saad, you
Well,
wanna
if you
be
can't
me?
answer, you can't
I want to
answer.
be Amber.
It's gonna
Yeah.
Why?
Because like you're okay. So first things first. Like you have 2 nephews, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's like, you're a
So
girl.
if I have Amber's life, then I'll have 2 nephews. That'll be cool.
Uh-huh.
And then like you're very empowering to like other girls too. So that's pretty like.
Oh, he wants to
I
empower
admire
people.
that. I admire that. So that's why.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna cut to the BS and just say Amber because she's a girl. Like, that's it. Why would you not want to be an opposite gender for a day? Straight up.
True.
I don't
That's
know, like
crazy.
once a month. No, I'm sure.
It's a day, my
It's a
guy.
struggle.
It's a day. Shamir's over here like
it seems like more than a day. To be
Shamir's
honest,
like, I'm never going back.
it seems like more than.
All
a
right,
day.
Amber.
I would not want to be FARAS because like you can't sleep every night, you know, and it's just like
well, okay, so
and
I'm
you
gonna
You
say
don't got to.
I do want to be for us, just because for a day. Don't get your ego up. I want to see what it feels like to be so egotistical. Like
you
how
want
what
to know
if-
what that feels like.
I want to know.
So
yeah, because
confident?
I'm never like
You want to be
I'm
so confident?
like little old Amber, so humble, he's so little, so cute. Okay, and then
You can be humble and confident.
and then we have Frost over here who's like, I am da da da. He looks at himself in the mirror and reminds himself how cute he is. And
I don't gotta
himself.
look in the mirror.
Oh my god.
I look.
And then
I probably
also-
look less in the
also-
mirror than
Amber.
any of you guys.
Amber, straight up though, his personality is a curse. You don't want that.
I don't know. I said a day, boy. I don't want it forever.
But
no.
you might carry some of it with you.
Oh no. I just want to know for a day. I want to see what it's like in his brain, and also I feel like he's very creative. I want to see how his brain works.
I want to be David for a day.
He's
Dang.
not on this mic,
I know.
but yeah.
All right.
What's the
What
next
about you,
question?
Frost? You never answered it.
I did.
Yeah,
I said
he's-
Oh,
Amber.
Amber. Oh, true.
Yeah.
I have 2 people. Oh, you know what, Shamir, I want to be you, just so that.
Oh no, we
Wow,
want to be Shamir.
that's a pity.
I would love-
very pity answer. I want to be Shamir because
I want to see what it's like to be such an adorable little
wait.
snail. I want to see what it's like to be so snaily.
No, it's okay.
Shamir, how do you feel that nobody?
Nelly, for your knowledge, I pulled up
It hurts.
the diagram.
Diagram of what? The cycle? What? It says multiple days, right?
Why is that a banana?
All right, guys. Since nobody wanted to be Shamir, let's talk about why we didn't want to be Shamir.
No. I want to be
Yeah, I want to
Shamir.
hear this. Why?
Let's- no,
I
let's-
want to
let's
be.
give
I
him
want
what
to
he
be a
wants.
cute little handsome little
Why
snail.
don't you want to be me?
No, I said there were some things that I liked about you, and I wanted that.
No, I want to
Yeah,
know.
but you didn't pick him though.
All right, Frost, start.
Why
can
didn't
start.
you? I'll go last.
No, you go first.
You
Wanna
go first.
Man,
Don't come at my man, Shami.
Is it because like I'm
your man's.
Whoa.
Oh my god, relax. Keep
You know,
going.
what, Shamir, I like you the way you are. I don't wanna
You don't
wanna
wanna
intrude you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know you wouldn't want.
It's very difficult to be in this.
I know you wouldn't want me like in your brain.
Yeah, no.
You don't want none of that.
I'd be like,
so.
oh, I can't sleep, and then I have to tell everyone about it. Like, yo, I don't sleep at all. Oh my god. Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't want to be so spastic. You know.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
you're kind of a spaz.
It's honestly, I like that though. We need that in our friends group. We need a little spazziness,
Little
and also
spasms.
that's why the orange starburst comes about.
Yeah.
You know, you bring
Definitely.
a little
He
flavor
drinks
to
a
the
lot of
group.
coffee. That's why, and it's always strong coffee.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to be you, Shimmer, is because
No, you did not.
No.
You didn't say that.
I'm saying I had reasons for all 3 of you.
No, but you didn't.
But
pick
Amber's
him.
just
You guys forced him into picking.
You
Amber.
guys,
Yeah,
you guys
we
are just
did.
being
yeah,
nice now.
we did force him.
But bro, the vlogs. Like I would
The
control the vlogs for a day.
vlogs.
For a day,
your
I would get
vlogs
to edit.
suck so bad that I want to control them.
Yes. For a day, I would get to edit.
I'd like to know what it's like to be a vlogger.
Wow, there's like so many qualities about me. And
Amazing.
You
Shamir-
picked that one quality.
Shamir, try to like
Sell myself?
sell yourself. Like, why should
No,
we be?
why? Why? You guys don't want me anyways. You guys should
Aw,
want me because of me, but that's not the case. My friends don't love me. It's okay.
Shami,
Bro.
we
Or they
love you
they
so
do love
much.
me, but I'm like rank 4.
You're
Like rank 4, and there's only 2 people on the list. So
You're
that's
the-
how bad
you're
it
the
is.
snail.
You know what?
Shamir,
We're
when
gonna
I
end the
saw you today-
podcast on a sad note.
I like that.
Everyone can cry.
Linguini.
Yeah.
Everyone can cry.
So,
no, I don't like that.
Thank you guys.
Wait, send us
What?
who you guys would want to be.
No, I don't want
out
to
of us.
see not my name. Why would I want to see that?
It's like we get like 50 of them and none of them are Shimmer.
I feel like that's how it is.
All right, guys. On a real, like, send Shimmer some love notes. Make him
Yeah.
feel better.
Please,
Because we
yeah.
certainly aren't.
No, because they're so pity. It's gonna be pity messages now. Like, oh, I feel so bad for
Send
you.
him all the
Don't
pity
feel bad for me.
messages.
I feel
Go
bad
watch
for
his
myself.
vlogs, leave
already.
some comments.
Yeah. Increase
Get a
those
snail
views.
tattoo.
Watch him not get it in, I get some.
Yeah, people that are off the list get them.
Oh my gosh.
Snelly.
But yeah,
Anyways.
send them to @StrangeFlavors, IG, Twitter, Facebook. You know the deal.
Yeah. Anyways, on a sad note, we're gonna leave this podcast. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll see you next time.
Pick up the slack, I'm back down, it's on. If they wanna smack down, tell them I'll bring it raw. No protection, no bodyguards, no nothing. Mob in the lobby, still body, I thought I'm